This is the Ultimea Thor T60. It's an ultra short throw projector that just launched on Kickstarter. Naturally, I'm interested to see just how high-end this is. Can it put up with something like my JVC high-end projector? It's literally right now the heavyweight champion of projectors. I haven't found any projector that can stand toe-to-toe with it yet. So obviously, we have to see if this one does.
But before we do that, let's do a quick overview on the Ultimea.
Now the Ultimea may not look like a traditional projector, and that's because it's an ultra short throw projector. This literally just fits inches away from the screen and shoots the projector image straight up versus a long throw projector. And we'll talk a little bit more about that when we get to the internal technology inside of it. But before we do that, let's take a look at what ports it actually has on it. It does have a LAN port.
And that's because this does have Android 11 TV on it.
It also has a Wi-Fi card built in, so you can also get internet that way. Otherwise, the other ways you're going to get video on this, it does have 2 HDMIs and 2 USB ports. And of course, for audio out, it does use HDMI eARC, as well as digital coax and SPDIF. And those that need it, it does have an RS-232 port and an auxiliary. Now this particular projector boasts to be a DLP 4K Ultra HD projector. It does do Dolby Vision and HDR10. And of course, for your audio output, does Dolby Atmos and DTS HD. As far as buttons go, there's only one button on the Ultimea, and that is right here on the front right-hand corner, and that is of course your power button. So for this, you're going to need a remote control. The remote control that comes with this is a fairly basic remote control. You're going to want a couple AAA batteries, and of course the projector does also come with an HDMI cable and a power cord. But this remote control did surprise me because it is only an infrared remote control, meaning you do have to point it at the actual IR sensor, which is directly in the front, right underneath the Ultimea logo.
All right, now it's time to do some real world testing. I'm really excited about this. For this, we're going to go ahead and compare it head to head against my JVC DILA projector. So let's do that. Now to start off, I wanted to do a shadow detail test. Now the colors do look a little bit different in this particular scene. Keep that in mind, that's just the camera capturing it. The triple laser, it has a very hard time, at least I do, capturing the true color of it. So if you see any color deviations in any of these tests, it's actually the camera taking that, and it's not actually the picture. Now with that being said, let's take a look at these. The one on the left, you're going to notice that you're losing a lot of shadow detail. It is definitely some deep dark blacks, but we're losing a lot of that background image. Now if we take a look at the one on the right, this one, we get all the shadow detail in the back. Now of course, the one on the left is the JVC, and the one on the right, well, that's actually the Ultimea. And I was really surprised because I was able to see a lot more shadow detail in the movies that I was watching. After seeing that, you're probably wondering what the contrast ratio is. Ultimea claims it to be 4,000 to 1, which is one of the best in the industry, especially when you take into account that they're talking about native contrast and not dynamic contrast, which can be quite a misleading number. Now for the second test, I wanted to test out the color gamut. Now I was pretty interested in this because Ultimea makes some pretty amazing claims. They claim 120% of the BT 2020 spectrum, and they're doing it a little bit different than the other ultra short throw projectors on the market. They're using a technology called HCTC 3.0. And the way this works, it supposedly gives you 30% brighter visuals while using technology such as AI precision and range MX technology. And so I was really excited about that because this supposedly gives you 120% of the BT 2020 spectrum. To put that into perspective, that is more than any flat screen television on the market. That's even more than an OLED. And now the JVC is also a wide color gamut projector, so I wanted to see if there was any change at all and how much or how little that was. I have to be honest, I did not expect the difference that I saw. It was just incredible, the difference. Now on the JVC, it looked like a projector. It was dull, it wasn't very vibrant, and it looked nowhere near as good as the Ultimea. When I popped the Ultimea on and I played Kong versus Godzilla, not only could I see all the shadow detail that we talked about earlier, but I was seeing these bright, vibrant colors that were flashing across the screen, and it just absolutely blew me away. No matter what I watched, I was blown away with the color accuracy and the vibrancy of it. It just looked like a television, and it didn't really look at all like a projector. Now, speaking of looking like a television, for this third test, I wanted to test out its claims on its brightness. They claim 4,000 ANSI lumens, and because of that, this is supposed to be able to be a television replacement, meaning that you could use it in a brighter type of setting, or at least watch things with the lights on. Now, I didn't know if I believed that, so I first turned on my JVC projector, turned the lights on, and sure enough, it washed it completely out. Now I set up the Ultimea, did the exact same test, except for this one, I did switch out the screen. I am using an ambient light rejection screen, which will be a little bit better. And by the way, this is by Vivid Storm. If you haven't seen the video I just did on this, you should check it out. But when I put this on, I went ahead and turned on the lights, and sure enough, it didn't really change at all. It was really impressive inside that room. I couldn't believe it. Not only do I watch the projector now with the lights on, at times I can actually watch 3D content with the lights on as well. The projector does do 3D, and a lot of projectors say they do 3D, but they don't do frame packing 3D, which is what's on a Blu-ray. This one does. So I did go ahead and try some 3D movies out here, and the depth and dimensionality of that 3D was phenomenal. I always said that no matter what, I would keep my JVC projector because it's just too good on 3D. I lied. This is actually just as good as JVC, if not better. And a lot of that has to do with the brightness of that projector. The projector is so bright that it can really create that 3D effect that you're looking for. Unfortunately, there's a lot of projectors that try to create that 3D effect and they can't really do it because it can't get bright enough. And so this is where the Ultimea really shined for me. It was an unexpected surprise and I was really happy with it. Now, one of the reasons why this projector looks so good is because there are a lot of settings that you can change for the video. And it's actually some more advanced settings that I've seen on some of these projectors. It has 11-point white balance, has things like advanced color tuner. And then in the advanced section, it has some really cool options such as gamma and luma control, and even a way to switch your 3D glasses eyes if they are backwards. One of the things that makes this go above and beyond is that this has 7 different profiles and each one is user adjustable. And it also has 7 independent HDR settings that are also user adjustable, and an additional 3 for Dolby Vision. That means you can have a total of 17 different user profiles based on the color that you like for the movies that you enjoy. Now, this wouldn't be a review if we didn't talk about sound. Now, let's go ahead and talk first about the fan noise. It does have 2 fans on either side, or 4 total fans, and they are whisper quiet. It's about 30 decibels from 3 feet away. Now, you're typically going to be sitting 6 to 10 feet away from this since this sits at the front of the room, making this very enjoyable to watch and significantly quieter than something like the JVC that it's replacing. Now, the actual sound quality, it does have a few different sound modes that you can try. But one of the things that I found to be absolutely great on the sound modes was when I turned on Dolby processing. For this, it does like a faux surround sound. And in my theater room, this worked really well. It was kind of a neat visceral experience, making it sound like there are actually speakers behind me. Now, keep in mind, this was a closed off room. When I put this downstairs in a more wide open environment, I didn't get that effect nearly the same. The sound, though, is a little bit on the high side, and there is missing quite a bit of mid-range and bass. Now, I'm not a professional gamer, and I'm definitely not competitive, but I do enjoy the occasional game. One of the things that surprised me about this particular projector is that it doesn't have a dedicated game profile. Instead, you can turn game mode on any one of the profiles that you want, and you can do this in one of 2 ways. You can either select game mode in the menu, or you can select auto low latency mode. When you turn these on, you can get delays as low as 10 milliseconds. Now, I didn't measure that, but me being a casual gamer, I didn't notice any type of delay, and I actually really enjoyed gaming on this. And it's pretty cool when you think about that you can enjoy up to a 150-inch screen gaming on your favorite games. Now, let me give you my final thoughts on this projector. I love it. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and tear down the front part of my theater room, and I'm going to go ahead and replace it with this screen and the Ultimea projector. It is just so much better than what I've had in there in the past. In fact, I didn't think I was going to get anything that would surpass the JVC for a while, and that's just not the case. So this is number 1 on my leaderboard, and I don't see it coming down for a while. Just none of the other ones can compete with the quality that this has. If you are going to buy this and you feel like this review helped you, I just ask you to use the link below. That does help out the channel, and it helps me grow even more and get more of these style projectors on the channel. So I would just appreciate that. Thanks, guys. This is Toyd's DIY Audio. and I'm out.